These are the 10 best free co-op games on Steam to play with friends. The first game we have here is Sneak Out, and this one offers one of the co-op stealth experience for up to 6 friends. You and your friends are trying to escape without getting caught, which sounds easy until someone decides to sprint for no reason. You are thrown in this massive haunted castle where you have to hunt, hide, or prank your friends, causing all kinds of hilarious mayhem while trying to win the deadly game of hide and seek. Then we have this next game called Knightfall, a daring journey. And this one feels like a classic adventure, but with co-op action and some horse drifting mixed in. You're fighting enemies, exploring areas, and trying to survive together and find your next town before nightfall, but coordination is everything. If one of you rushes in like a hero and the other is still figuring out controls, you're both dead. It's not super complicated, but it does reward teamwork, timing, and not being a complete idiot, which is hard when playing with friends. Still, when things go right, it feels really satisfying. The next game we have is called Handy Dandy, and this one is actually a really cool 2D co-op platformer. You play as these two adventurers, Handy and Dandy, who basically mess up so badly that they tear the dimension in half. Now the cave is literally splitting apart and you're stuck on opposite sides, trying to reunite. So the whole game is about solving platforming puzzles together, jumping across gaps, triggering switches, and helping each other from a distance. You can't just rush through it because if one of you messes up, the other one is stuck waiting. It's one of those games where coordination actually matters, and yelling happens way too often. Honestly, it's super satisfying when you finally pull off a puzzle cleanly and get closer to each other again. The next game is called Alien Swarm: Reactive Drop, and this one is more intense than most on this list. It's top-down, you're shooting aliens non-stop, and you actually need to play smart if you want to survive. You'll be covering each other, watching angles, and panicking when aliens start pouring in from everywhere. What I like about this game is that it feels serious, but the moment someone messes up, everything collapses instantly. It's stressful, but in a really fun way, especially when you clutch a mission with your team barely alive. Then we have Goose, Duck, which is one of the more dramatic co-op games. You're little geese running around doing tasks, but one of your friends is secretly trying to ruin everything like Among Us. So half the game is doing your job and the other half is accusing everyone of being suspicious for no reason. It's dumb, it's loud, and nobody trusts anyone by the end of the match. I love how quickly friendships turn into full detective mode, and somehow the goose with the weakest excuse always survives. In a similar vein to Goose, Duck, we also got Deducto, which is basically Among Us, but in an office setting. You're pretending to work, doing tasks, and trying to figure out which one of your friends is secretly sabotaging everything. The real game isn't even the tasks, it's the arguments. Everyone suddenly becomes a lawyer, defending themselves with the worst logic imaginable. If you enjoy lying to your friends or catching them in the dumbest lies possible, this game is an absolute blast. And then we got One Armed Robber, and this game is just pure co-op stupidity in the best way possible. You're robbing places with only one usable arm, which makes even basic actions feel impossible. Opening doors, grabbing loot, reloading weapons, everything turns into a struggle. So you're constantly relying on your friends to help you out, while also watching them fail just as badly. It's messy, it's hilarious, and every successful escape feels like a miracle. If you like dumb physics and laughing at your own mistakes, this one is a must-play. Then we got Off the Grid, which is pure, large-scale chaos. It's got these big maps, big fights, and way too much happening at once, but that's exactly why it's fun with friends. You're doing objectives, getting into fights, reviving each other, and somehow surviving situations you really shouldn't. Going solo feels rough, but with friends, it turns into those moments where everything goes wrong but you still pull through. It's messy, loud, and way better with a squad. Then we have Bronzebeard's Tavern, and this one is all about running a tavern together while everything slowly goes wrong. You're serving drinks, cooking food, cleaning messes, and trying to keep customers happy. Of course, your friend is probably setting something on fire or forgetting orders. It gets hectic really fast, but that's where the fun is. I really liked how everyone has to take responsibility because if one person messes up, the whole tavern turns into chaos. It's stressful, loud, and honestly perfect for co-op nights. Then we got Supermarket Together, and yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. You and your friend are running a supermarket, stocking shelves, dealing with customers, and slowly losing your sanity. One person is scanning items, the other is running around restocking, and somehow there's always chaos. Customers get mad, shelves are empty, and your friend is nowhere to be found when things go wrong. It's stressful in a funny way, and it's one of those games where everything collapses, but you're still laughing the whole time. If you are looking for co-op games to play with your partner, don't forget to check out this video right here. And if you got more games you want me to look at, drop them down in the comments.